Hi friends, welcome to Tabletop Recall. This is a monthly show where I talk about the games that I played in the previous month. This is for May 2025, and I also talk about the games that you played. But I'm going to kick it off with the games that I played because that's how it is. It's my show. We're going to go to my number 22 of the month, which is a game that I wasn't on my radar, but I do streams for Critical Hit Games, and this is the game that we played one day of the month last month. It's number 22, Axis and Allies Battle of the Bulge. If you know Axis and Allies, you will know Battle of the Bulge. It is a different version of the game, but it adds some pretty cool stuff as far as combat goes. It adds supply lines, and you're going to have to deal with that as you make your way in the Battle of the Bulge. Very, famous or infamous battle in World War II. If you like the Axis and Allies system, you'll enjoy it here. Again, it covers tactical movement as you're trying to move your troops and across the way and capture certain points for victory points. And you do that through dice rolling, and that's the main mechanism there. What's really neat that we really liked, Luis, my co-host, and also Chris, the co-host, aka the owner of Critical Hit Games in Corona, California, is the airplanes, the air combat. It comes in, I think it's the 5th or 6th round of the game. They have it set up so you do your ground troops, you have your artillery, you have your, mobile units, tanks and stuff. And then around the 5th or 6th round, you can bring in your Air Force. You bring in bombers, you bring fighters, and that's really cool. I had not played an Axis and Allied game with those mechanisms, so to play that here, it was a real treat. So that's my number 22 of the month, Axis and Allies Battle of the Bulge. All right, moving on. Again, I do this every month, folks. Be sure to click the like and the subscribe button, and also that notification button, so you can follow along when I go live with the different streams that I do. Moving to number 21. This is a game that I could have easily ranked this super high on my list, but for whatever reason, it dropped down. It didn't drop down, but it is number 21 on my list. It is a game called Fairy. Now, Fairy is a game that is super light, and this is from Bitewing Games. They're showing how to play here, where you're just using your fingers to show your action. You can see here the players there are playing, showing fingers, and it's going to determine what you're trying to do, whether it's a certain number of card or a certain type, and each round, that's all you're doing. It's super fast. It's super fun. I think it's the trigger point is 25 points for the end game trigger, or 20 points. I forget, but basically you're guessing what the next card is going to be. Here's all the cards here, and you're going to guess, is it going to be higher than the last one, lower than the last one, the same suit as the other one, or is it going to be a fairy? So that's a little fairy symbol. It looks like a claw. But if it's a fairy, then you'll get more points than the other cards. And it's fun because your scorecard, as you can see there, it's literally, you just hold it and you're going to have your finger on how many points you have at that moment. So let me press the replay button. There's Bitewing Games. It's super fun. I played this with my buddy Daryl and his daughter, and we had a great time. And they actually borrowed my copy. I was like, you got to borrow it. I mean, she loved it so much. And I can't wait to play this with more folks. It's we only played a 3-player game. It worked just fine, but I want to play this like with a bigger group. It is a light and easy and breezy game that I love. These type of games that are fit in literally in your pocket. It's only maybe it's 30 something cards, not even that. But yeah, terrific game. Number 21, Fairy. Number 20 is Ticket to Ride New York. Now, if you like Ticket to Ride, I think this is the one to show new players these days. It's the ones that I enjoy showing because it's the same as Ticket to Ride, but just in a smaller, more approachable package. You're still laying down trains, or in this case, cars, in the New York edition, and you're either drawing cards, 2 transportation cards, which are the different colors, or you're going to play those cards in order to lay down your cars on the map, right? And the rainbow taxi in this case is a wild, and you're going to claim those routes by playing those cards, transportation cards, and placing the taxis as you see there in the example in the video there. And then as you build them, you're going to eventually deplete your supply of cars. At that point, when someone has 0, 1, or 2, you're going to take a final round, and then that's it. And then you're going to show score points for destination tickets, and also each route that you do, as you can see there, it has different point values for how long they are. You'll get additional points when you connect those ones or the coins, and then the most points win. So you have a little scorecard there. It's a simpler version of Ticket to Ride, but it retains the core of it. And I guess I shouldn't say simpler. It's just it's a shorter version of Ticket to Ride, and I think it works well. And I would recommend it. I actually like playing this nowadays because it's more like a filler. So if you don't want to play like the 60-minute Ticket to Ride, I think Ticket to Ride New York's a terrific way to go. And that's why it's my number 20 game of the month, Ticket to Ride New York. Okay, let's move on. My number 19 game. This is a game that I forgot about, actually, and thanks to Critical Hit Games, I was able to bring it back and relearn how to play. Number 19, Mephisto, the card game. This is a fun hand management game. You are going down to the depths of Hades, I guess. They don't even say that. But you're fighting these monsters. You have zombies, you have vampires, etc., etc. And it's really neat. It's like a dungeon crawl, but card-based. And it's really quick. And I thought, it was going to be simpler than I recall, but no, it wasn't. There's a nice little bit of complexity here. And actually, in the video I did, I'm just going to straight up say it, I missed a few things through my playthrough. I just straight forgot some of my powers that I unlocked. I could have easily been a lot more powerful and done some cooler combos. But that's what makes this game great. And I still have my copy. I've had this copy for years, thanks to Dylan, who does graphic design work for Flat Out Games now. His graphic design here, he's just a wonderful artist, a wonderful graphic designer. So it's Mephisto, but it's like, I don't know, I guess it would be like family friendly. It's nothing like too scary, but it's got like this nice Halloween vibe to it. And in it, you just draw cards, and then you are going to fight monsters or grab some loot or some items that will help you in later fights. And in the solo game, you're just trying to get to the, I think it's 15 or 16 points for the game and trigger. And then depending on how efficient you are, that's your score. So I didn't do that well. Like, you want to have as many cards left over in the dungeon deck as possible. And I had to go through a bunch to get through mine. But Mephisto, the card game, I feel like it's an underrated game. You can play it solo. It plays 2 to 4, but I like it solo, and it reminded me of why I like this solo, was doing that live stream. So that is number 19, Mephisto, the card game. Moving right along, moving. Number 18, Slambo. This is a 2-player card game. It actually plays up to 4, but I like it at 2. It feels more like it's a combat game. So it is sumo wrestling. You and your opponent are sumo wrestlers, and you're playing cards in the middle here, as you see Michelle and myself doing. The total starts at 5, and then the cards you play will either bring that total all the way up to 10 or all the way down to 0. If you go past that, whether it's -1 or 11, then you're out, and you take one of the shame cards there. They're Daji. If you get 3 shame cards, you've been knocked out. You have lost the bout. So if you tie, then you're just going to put 1 there. So that's why Michelle and I tied in the first round. So we have 2 shame cards, and we play again. So as you can see there, it starts at 5, and then I would play a card, Michelle would play a card until someone cannot. If you tie, then you just add a shame card. But in this case, we went back and forth. Like, I brought it to 6, Michelle brought it to 8. I brought -7 down to 1. Michelle plays an 8 for 9, and so forth. It's a tug of war. It's a lot of fun, super quick, maybe 5 minutes per game, if that. As you can see, as long as you know how to do math, negatives and positives, you're fine. Really fun game. I played this with Oscar as well. Now, you can play it multiplayer. 3 or 4 players. It adds a couple of different cards, which I would be interested to try them, because they do have like some special abilities that you do, and like one card allows you to do either a negative or positive, depending on what you want, where you want to bring the numbers to. Then there's the expert match, which means that you can only go up to 9 or 0, so or 1 down to 1 or 9. So it takes away 1 number, but definitely makes it tougher. But check out Slambo, folks. That is from All Play, who sent over a copy of the game. Thanks, All Play. My number 17 of the month, this one has been on the list several times over the last year or so, because it's a fantastic game, is Captain Flip. Yeah, Captain Flip, folks, it continues to be a banger in my household with family, friends, and this is Michelle and I playing, I think last year, in Captain Flip. You draw tiles out of a bag, you place them on your ship one at a time, you alternate with other players, and each tile has either a special ability or scoring, or it's going to allow you to take this treasure map, which gives you a coin at the end of every turn. And as you fill up the columns, once you fill up 4, the game ends. Everyone takes an equal amount of turns. The most coins wins. I love this game. So the main thing is, once you pull a tile out of the bag, you either keep it as is, you cannot look at the back side, but if you decide to flip it, then you must stay on that side and place it in your ship. So it's a little push your luck thing. It's won all kinds of awards. I think it was one of the best games I've played in recent years as far as light gaming, family-friendly gaming. I brought this to family functions. Everyone always loves it. I just did a game day at Michelle's school. The students loved it. I don't think I mean, some people, it may not be for them, but I feel like the vast majority of people I've showed this to, dozens of people, really enjoy this. As you can see there, I placed one of the characters on the board. Some are going to be end game scoring, some are immediate scoring. My favorite is the gunner, I think, the guy that has the cannon, because you get the most coins by placing them on your map. 5 coins are on your ship. 5 coins, most in the game. But at the end of the game, if you have 3 of them on your ship just automatically blows up. So there are other tiles that you place, if you lucky enough to draw them, where you can flip tiles that are adjacent. So maybe you flip that tile, or maybe you just don't put the gunner down, you flip it immediately and try the other side. It's terrific. As you fill up each column, you also get bonuses. Folks, Captain Flip, if you haven't played it already, you've got to play it. I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. It's my number 17 game in the month of May 2025. Captain Flip. Number 16 is Wine Cellar. And I think the best way to describe this is, if you ever played For Sale, this is similar For Sale, but a wine theme. You have your different cards. There are bottles of wine, which have a label, a type, a country of origin, the color. What you do, you're going to draft. And what's great is the wine cards, the wine bottles that you start with, are your cards that you're going to bid with as well. So you bid one, and then everyone does that, and then the highest will take the wine from the tableau or the market first, etc., etc. And then the cards that you've used to bid on that round, those become the next round in the market. So if I bid like a low number, that low number will be in the market for the next one, etc. It is brilliant. Andrew Styles, designer, really knocked it out of the park in this. And I know Andrew personally. I've met him a few times, and just knowing that he's a wine connoisseur, I love the fact that I think this was his first published game. Definitely the first one with 25th Century, but I love that it was his passion project. So as you can see there, when you take the wine bottles into your hand, you have to store them on the side, just like a true wine connoisseur. And as you'll notice there, they have numbers. So those numbers, you go left to right. After you place 8 bottles, you go left to right. Each one scores for the number that they're associated with. So number 1 bottle, in this case, the top bottle there, I would score 7 points. The second one looks like I would score 2 points, etc. So you cannot place bottles slotted in between them, but you can put them on the top or bottom. So it's a nice little spatial element that For Sale doesn't have. So I love For Sale. I love Wine Cellar. Don't make me choose between them, because I think they're both really approachable, accessible, and very easy to teach. But Wine Cellar, I think, it has just a tad bit more strategy, I think, than For Sale. As far as For Sale, it's more of an auctioneer, where this one, it's more card drafting. Oh, by the way, let me go back to the video here. I'm playing the solo version of this. They actually have a solo, which works well. So check out my video online. You can see that on my channel to learn how to play the solo version of Wine Cellar. I greatly enjoyed it. Let's move on to number 15. That's another game that I didn't expect much from. As far as I thought it was going to be much lighter than it was. And it's a light game, but it's a terrific game. Okay, number 15 is Cascadia Junior. I've raved about this before. I've actually played the game on my channel. You can check it out there. But I've also played the game live with Critical Hit Games. And this playthrough was a lot of fun because I played with the owner, Chris, and we had a guest, 8-year-old, it was an 8-year-old Bliss, really sweet young lady. She joined us for this game, and she knocked it out of the park. She understood it right away, and it's basically Cascadia. I would say the family-friendly version, of course, right? But if you're a gamer, hardcore gamer, like you are because you're watching this channel, this is like a filler version of Cascadia. So it keeps the same elements. You'll see there, it has double tiles, right? Rather than just the single hexes, it's a double. And you just place it, you're trying to place them next to each other. So when there are 3 animals that are similar, you're going to place those tokens there and score, right? You're going to score randomly. So if you have 3 foxes, for instance, next to each other, you are going to take a fox token into your, place it onto your player mat there. And at the end of the game, you'll reveal those for the points. So you really don't know what points you're going to get at the end of the game. So yes, a very small, a little luck element, but there's definitely skill because you're trying to get those animals next to each other, and also habitats as well. The habitats, the bigger you can make your habitat, for instance, 6 mountains or whatever next to each other, then you'll get additional points based on the habitats. Again, those are going to go; those are random tokens for scoring. It works perfectly, folks. I love this version. Again, if for a filler version, if you want just the taste of Cascadia Junior without going through the entire game. And honestly, the Cascadia, it doesn't take that long. But still, I think this one for a family-friendly version works great. It is fantastic. So that's our number 15 for the month of May, Cascadia Junior. And shout out to Critical Hit Games for having us play live the other day. Okay, let's move on to number 14. This is an old favorite of mine. I still have this version, and I still have this game. Number 14, Parks. Now, Parks is a action selection. What is the name? You're moving along the line here, traveling in parks. You're moving your hikers to one of the spots in front of you, and you are going to take that action, right? So action selection. But it also has set collection, the different things that you're collecting, different resources, water, sun, etc. You're using those to visit the different national parks. And this is the original version I have here. I played it for Critical Hit Games. I played the solo version. There is a solo variant in the rules. But they have a new edition that's on sale at the store, and you can find it at your favorite retailer. The art's been updated. I believe the gameplay's been streamlined a little bit, but it looks gorgeous. I really like... I love my version of the game. I'm not going to get rid of it. I really do enjoy it. But I do need to check out that new version because the art just seems, I don't know, a little brighter or something. And it's a terrific game, folks. Another one of these gateway style games where if you're new to gaming, I think this one is a good one. I actually prefer, for new players, Trails, which is one that I don't think it's still there anymore, but it was a Target exclusive for a while. And it took Parks and made it a much smaller game. I think it's a more manageable game, but each one has enough strategy that will satisfy veteran gamers. You're trying to figure out, do I want to go to this space, or do I want to beat my opponent to this space, or hold back a little bit. So you can't just like hide out, and just go as slow as you can, because eventually when everyone else is at the end of the trail, then you have to go to the end. You can't just like wait there and scoop up all the scraps, basically. But a terrific game. I'm really glad that I brought this, or they had me live streaming, because it's been a while since I played, and the solo game works well. And that is Parks, folks. Definitely check that one out. Let's move on to number 13, Naishi. Naishi, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Let me know if I pronounce it correctly or not. This is a card game that's been out for a little while. The French version, which I believe... Okay, we're watching the trailer for the English version, which will be coming out from Renegade Game Studios. Now, little spoiler, Michelle and I played this and loved it. And the video we did is actually going to be, you'll be able to watch our playthrough at Renegade Con. This is a virtual convention. I'll put a link in the show notes where you can sign up and be reminded when it's going to happen. But Naishi, folks, it's a 2-player, I would guess you would call this a lane battler, but it's really neat because each card that you play, you're building 2 tableaus underneath or in front of you, and the market in the middle you're both going to use that to add cards to your tableau. And each one, of course, you're going to decide where to play it, whether it's in your front-facing tableau or in your hand, which you will reveal at the end of the game. And of course, each card has different scoring abilities. Whether it's you want as many as possible in your tableau, or you want cards that are in certain locations. You want cards that are next to each other, etc., etc. Then there's also I forgot if it was a samurai. There's another card that can duplicate cards. It is terrific. A really, really fun game. Now, I had learned how to play this on Board Game Arena with some folks in Discord. Speaking of Discord, if you haven't already, join our Discord, folks. Check out the show notes below, and you can find links to join our family-friendly Discord where we talk about games and non-game stuff. Have a lot of fun there. We also set up a lot of games on Board Game Arena through Discord, and I was invited to learn this game in Board Game Arena. I had no idea what I was doing, but by the end of it, I was like, okay, I sort of figured this out. But once Michelle and I played the actual analog edition, oh man, we were all over it. So as you can see, there's 2 players, 20 minutes or so. I'd say the first play maybe took us a little longer just as we got used to, the types of cards you want to get in your tableau. But after that, yeah, gameplay is super smooth. And be sure to check out our video that's coming soon on Renegade Game Studios, Renegade Con Virtual, which will be out is it this month? Yeah, it is June 2025, folks. So check those show notes, and I'll have the link there. You can check out when it's happening. Okay, moving right along, let's go to number 12. This is a party game that I absolutely fell in love with. Grant Lyon was a big proponent of this game, so Grant knows. I mean, I love his recommendations. Grant plays a lot of party games, a lot of gateway style games, newer games for newer players, and I always appreciate his takes on these. And he raved about number 12 Blob Party, and actually the one I'm doing is actually number 12 Blob Party Neon Nights. This is the newest version. It's the same game, but they just added neon, glow in the dark Play-Doh. Or I don't know if they can actually say Play-Doh. This, the dough that they use. But let's go to the video here. This is Amy Dallin. Hi, Amy. Doing this for... there's the glow in the dark. They're doing this for the Good Times Society. In Blob Party, everyone has one of those cards. You're going to write answers down to the clues. So there's a category. There's a word. They're both one word, or not both one word, but so the category at the grocery store, risky is the word. So everyone writes their things, expiration date, shoplifting, anything to do that you think has to do with the category and word. You can use sentences or whatever. And then the object of the game is to all end up on the same team. You start as separate, opponents, but it's a cooperative game. You're trying to all come up with the same answer. And in this one, it's cool because the answers don't have to line up perfectly. But as long as it's in the spirit of the same answer, you're going to join with your fellow blobs. So everyone has a blob, a piece of dough, as you saw there. And if you match another player or another player's answers, then you all become one blob. So let's say this is a 6-player game. Is that how many they're playing here? I don't know how many Amy's playing. 1, 2, 3... Looks like a 6-player game. If 3 of you have the same answer, then all 3 of you go on to the same team. So then the next category and word, you 3 will secretly work on an answer together, and then the other people will they work separately, and then you reveal, and then if some of those join you, then you'll become part of their blob. And before the 7th round, I think that's just one. I think you have 7 rounds to all form into a blob. I love this game, and I brought this to Michelle's school. I was talking about earlier. We have a semi-regular game day there for the kids, part of their club activities, and we all loved it. Michelle joined us. We had students join us, and we all... Thankfully, we played three different games. This is what's a great game is when you want to play it multiple times back to back. The students wanted to, I wanted to, Michelle wanted to, and each time we won. But it seemed like usually you would get better as you went. We were laughing. We thought we were getting worse. Maybe it was the clues. They were just getting progressively tougher for whatever reason. But we still won, but the last time it took us all 7 tries. So it was funny. And these type of games, it's just all about having fun, right? And they're not the deepest strategy, but it's a terrific game. It goes along the lines of Green Party Wins, Blank Slate, Just One, word games that are terrific party games. And I cannot recommend it highly enough, folks. There's a couple of games on here during this month's list that I've recommend it. I mean, I recommended a bunch of them, of course, but this one, as a party game, I think it rocks. And it's Blob Party Neon Nights. I did a paid preview of this for Rahdo's channel for our number 11 game. It is Flashpoint Golden State Heroes. This is the latest, and I will let you decide if it's the greatest version of Flashpoint. Now, so Golden State Heroes, what this does is it has a light narrative campaign, and this one hit, I don't know, it was close to home for me. It's based on California firefighters, right? Now, obviously, this is a fictionalized version of the firefighting folk in California, but just with the recent fires in Southern California earlier this year, it really hit home. They do have a light narrative campaign in this through different boards, and it is still Flashpoint. It's still the cooperative game that's been around for many years. I'll consider it a classic by many, including myself. And in it, you are trying to contain fires and try to rescue 7 victims before the building collapses or, worse things. And in Flashpoint, Golden State Heroes, you have the different characters that you're going to bring in. They are going to level up between games, and it is a replayable campaign. The narrative is light, but really cool. I think they did a terrific job of bringing in these elements of, hey, I feel like my firefighting crew is they're evolving, becoming better firefighters and so forth, and you have the different things that you can fight. Terrific game. If you're a Flashpoint fan, definitely for you to check out. Now, I didn't play they had the Legacy game. I did not play that one, but I did really enjoy Golden State Heroes Flashpoint. It is now on Kickstarter. I'll put a link in the show notes below. Okay, so that was paid preview for Rahdo's channel. Let's move on to number 10. This is an oldie but a goodie, in my opinion. I love this game. Y'all know I'm a word geek. I love word games. And number 10 is Wordsy. I love word games. I am a word nerd, and this one has everything you want in a word game because it's simple to learn. It's got a little real-time element, and what's great is you can make whatever word you want. It's not limited at all, but the way to score points is based on those numbers that are there. So in this case, Becca and I are playing Good Morning Society. The M and the N is worth 5 points each. The P and the B, 4 points each, and so forth. You can do whatever word you want. And I'm thinking membership could be a word, member, etc., etc. So you can use vowels, you can use letters that aren't there, but you only get points for each letter scored there. And you only get them 1 point, one per time. So you can have like 10 M's in a word, but it only counts once because there's only 1 M there. You'll notice there's 2 P's, so if I use both of those, I'll score. So you do that for 7 rounds. You toss out your 2 lowest scores, then the highest score wins. Becca is also a fellow word nerd. She loves word games. She immediately, fell in love with this one, just as I did. This is the older version I've had for years, and it is being brought back, or has been brought back by All Play in a new version. So I'm curious to check out that one, but I love my version. It's terrific. I also play it on the app. It is called Avowel, Avowel. Yeah, Avowel. It is, I think it's the official variant of Wordsy. They don't actually call it Wordsy, but they call it Avowel for some reason. But terrific word game. If you're not a word game nerd, this probably won't change your mind. But if you're into Scrabble, any kind of word, highly recommend this. Wordsy plays in about 20 minutes, and you can use whatever word you want. That's, I think, my favorite part of it. You may not score anything, but I just love the fact that you're not limited to just the tiles or the letters on the table there. All right, number 9 is the opposite of Wordsy. It's not quick. It is not a word game. It is a big, heavy or medium weight Euro. This is Ark Nova. I had not played Ark Nova in a while, and it reminded me of like, whoa, this is crunchy. And I loved it. It was terrific. I played it on Critical Hit Games. Luis and I live streamed this one. In it, you're building your zoo, but you got tons of stuff to do. It's got engine building. It's got this really neat spatial element too, where you are trying to find the right tile placement as far as where you want your animals and animal enclosures to go. You've got your victory points and also your rep. I forgot exactly what 2 terms they were, but there's 2 different tracks that you're keeping a score on. And then once those 2 tracks meet, that's when the game is over. So it's a really interesting mechanism there. I had not played this in a couple of years, and I forgot about. For me, it was a heavier game. I was like, "Whoa, Luis! Wow, this is really good. I want to do all these things, but I can't. Right? I need to time it just right in order to do it." The brilliant part of this is the action selection. Right? As you can see in our player boards, we each have 5 cards. You pick one of those actions and you're going to do it depending on like where it is position wise on your player board. It's going to be either stronger or weaker depending on where it is. And then once you do it, you're going to place it back at the start of the line. So it becomes a weaker version of that action again, and you'll slide everything to the right. Really interesting way to do that. I've always enjoyed that about Ark Nova, just that action selection system. It's been a while. These type of games, I realize that I need to practice them and continue to play them on a regular basis, because after not playing Ark Nova for a while, coming right back into it, I was like, oh, what am I doing? I need to focus on this. No, wait, I want to do this. That's just the way it goes. But a brilliant game nonetheless. Ark Nova, that's my number 9 for the month of May. Now, I was just talking about heavier game and a game that I hadn't played for a while that really sort of blew my mind. Number 8 is the same way. It is Root, the classic cute critter friendly war game, right? It is a war game at its heart. And again, I played at Critical Hit Games this time with Luis and Chris, the owner, and we each had our different factions. I played the birds this time. Chris played the cats, or no, the mice, and Luis played the cats. Talk about asymmetric play, folks. This is the game for asymmetric play, Root. Every single faction plays different. There's a bunch of expansions. They all play differently. And I played the birds. This is the one. I think I probably played this one the most of all the different factions. It is a programming mechanism where you slot your different cards, and they're going to, you follow the specific order to, do the actions and so forth. The cats are the ones that build a bunch of stuff all over the map. The cats are the ones that are most prominent on the map. And then the mice, they sort of like secretly try to do all kinds of stuff. And eventually they start populating all over the place. We did not, because it wasn't a 4-player game. We didn't play the Vagabond, a little raccoon that goes around stealing stuff. But this was really interesting. I think Luis and I were really close for the lead, and he pulled it out the last minute. It's a race to 30 points. But, Root, another one that if you haven't played in a while, at least I haven't. It took me, I was like, I got to remember how to play this. And I want to play. I feel like this is the game I should play more. I get more reps on the digital app, because the digital implementation, at least on Steam, is brilliant. I love that. And I should have, and that's I didn't even think about it. I should have put in some reps there before I actually played again. But I'll start putting the reps now, so the next time I'm playing Root, I'll be able to bring a better A game. But Root, folks, still bangs. It's still a banger to this day. That's why it's my number 8 for the month of May, Root. Okay, now, number 7, another game that I introduced to Becca and Good Morning Society for our jacked up matchup, is number 7, ShipShape. This is such an underrated game, and I believe it's still available. It went out of print for a little while, but I think it's Calliope Games. It's a Rob Davio game. Rob Davio done all kinds of stuff. You're probably best known for his work at Restoration Games these days. But ShipShape, my buddy Jeff Bailey actually introduced me to this years ago. It is a simple set collection game. You have 3 different things you're trying to collect for points. You have your straight gold points. You have your contraband, which scores interestingly. So it's the person with the highest contraband scores nothing. And then everyone else will score depending on how much contraband they have. The gold is just straightforward. It's a 1-for-1. And then it is the cannons. The cannons, it's everyone except the lowest scores. So you want to have the most. You definitely don't want to have the lowest. I think those are the 3. And then you also have rats. The rats are on board your little holds, so you're trying to fill up your pirate ship with all kinds of stuff. And then the rats are negative points, so you want to cover those. And each tile is really interesting. As you can see there, Becca and I, it's a puzzle. We're trying to figure out how to place it on our ship to cover up items. And you're always going to have to cover up some good stuff, right? That's the thing, though, just the way the tiles are shaped. And then you do that 3 times per round, and then you move on to a new ship, a new round, and you repeat it 3 times, maybe 20 minutes. And I love ShipShape because it plays up to 6 players, and it's always going to be about 20 minutes. Everything's simultaneous. You do use, oh, you know what? Maybe it's 20 or 30 minutes, because what you use is a bidding system. Everyone has the same 10 cards, 1 through 10. You secretly bid, then you simultaneously reveal, and whoever has the highest gets the first choice. Because the tiles are stacked in a little stack. You can't look at them. You can only look straight down. So you may see something you want, but you're not sure, oh, does this have anything that I don't need, or will cover up some of the other things? You don't know. You can see the very top one. That's it. So if you see something on top that you really want, bid your highest bid. If not, maybe go lower. But here's the cool twist. If anyone ever ties on those bids, the next player who is untied gets the first turn. And then the people who tied, they have to bid again using another card. So you play cards, they're out of your hand. And then once you have one card left in your hand, then you pick them all back up. So really perfect combination of the bidding mechanism to draft your tiles, and then the little puzzle of how to place those tiles most efficiently to get the most of some goods and not the most of others. Just a brilliant game all around. ShipShape, totally underrated. I don't know why it flew under people's radars. Maybe the artwork wasn't the most appealing, or maybe just people were tired of pirate games. I don't know, but I think it's brilliant. That's our number 7 for the month, folks. ShipShape. Moving on to number 6. This one, again, another one that Becca and I played during our jacked up matchup on Good Morning Society. This one is a pretty relatively new game. It was nominated for a Spiel des Jahres. And was it the Spiel or was it the Kenner? No, it was the Spiel. This is a game called Zenith. Number 6 is Zenith. This is a 2-player game that Becca and I played for the jacked up matchup. In it, it's area control, area majority, but also a bunch of really cool elements added in. And what I love about it is, these are my favorite type of games. Play a card, do stuff. It's just, they're multi-use, so you either go to the left side, which is the tech tree. You level up on the tech, basically, and you'll get stuff. Or you play it to the middle portion, which most of them in this game we did, where you're trying to, it's like a tug of war, right? The more you have on one color, the more it's going to come towards your side. Once it gets all the way to your side, you claim it. And then the player who has 3 of the same, or 4 different, or 5 of any, wins immediately. It's just a race. Also on the right side, it's going to give you another element that you're going to add. I forgot what it's called, but that one, you get to do additional actions as well. It is terrific. Becca and I, this is the first time both of us had ever played it. I had learned it the night before, and then when I taught it, we played, and I think Becca eked out the victory, as she usually does. But it was so much fun. I really liked the whole like push and pull tug of war type games. I really like that. A game like Sun Tzu, one of my favorites, has that to it. But this one has 5 different elements you're trying to do. These represent different planets you're trying to influence to take over, the Galactic Senate. But it is terrific. And Gamer Guide, folks, we recorded this live on Twitch. They say Zenith's mechanic reminds me of Blood Bowl Team Manager. Oh, interesting. So I've never played Blood Bowl Team Manager, but Gamer Guy has, and they know games. So I'm going to take their word for it. Thank you for that, Gamer Guy. Let me show that up in comments. Again, folks, we do this live. So if you ever wondered, hey, when do you record this? I will say we record this live every Monday, the first Monday of the month, here on Twitch and YouTube, and then you're watching the Vonda, of course. But yeah, check out Blood Bowl Team Manager for a similar type of game to Zenith. A terrific game that was recently nominated for Spiel. Another one that was nominated for the Spiel, look at that transition, folks, is a game called, it's our number 5 game, called The Gang. I love this on paper, and I loved it in reality. The Gang is Texas Hold'em poker played cooperatively. Sounds crazy, right? I mean, it sounds crazy to me. I'm a poker player. This is Ashton from Shelfside going through his review. It is Texas Hold'em cooperative. So what you're doing, everyone has 2 hole cards, and you're gonna have a shared community cards in the middle. And what you're trying to do is rank where your poker hand is in relation to the other players. But you cannot do you do not talk, and you can't share any other information except for those poker chips that you have. And what you're doing is you're taking the chips based on the number that they have on them, like number 1, number 2, it's like the number of stars. So the higher it is, the stronger you think your hand is. So you're going to do this each round because the cards, the texture of your hands are going to change through gameplay, right? If you know poker, you'll understand this. If you don't know poker, I'd still recommend checking it out because they do teach you the game of poker. They'll show you the hand ranks and so forth. But it is interesting playing with non-poker players. I've done it before, so it's really interesting to see how they rank their cards. So as you do this, you're going to see who ranks highest and lowest. If you get it right, then the theme is pasted on. If you get it right, then you have broken into the bank, or you've done your heist or whatever. If you've done it wrong, then you'll trip off an alarm. You have to do it 3 times, for, or 3 times against. You either win or lose after 3 turns. Oh, there they are right there. The sirens, alarms, and then the gold bars and the thing. Now, what's neat is if you lose a round, you'll get a helper card. So that makes it somewhat easier. So you'll get some free information. But if you've won, you'll get, I forget what they're called, not helpers, anti-helpers, where it's an additional challenge, right? So you might not be able to do what you want to do on a certain turn. It is terrific, folks. I don't know what Ashton gave it to it. Let me see. What'd you give it, Ashton? I give it a 10. I give it a 10. I guess I should say I give it a 10 for poker players. I think it's one of those things where if you know poker, I think you really admire, at least I did, taking Hold'em and making it a game that is plays well. It gives you the feeling of poker without losing money. I mean, how much better is that? You're not betting any money, but you are trying to read what other players have, right? Just like in poker and Hold'em, can I beat this player? Am I losing to this player? This time they take that and make it cooperative, where let's do this together. Let's try to read each other's minds and see how we rank. So I guess one way to describe it, and I think I have described it before, someone has, where this is Texas Hold'em meets the mind, right? So you can't say, oh, I've got a pair of 2s in my hand. What do you have? No, you're just looking, in whether you grab a chip or not, like how quickly to grab it. It's like, oh, if I grab it immediately, maybe, oh, Ruel has pocket aces, right? So there's no bluffing, though. Here's the thing. You cannot bluff because you want your fellow players to know how strong or how weak your hand is, right? Terrific game, folks. The highest of recommendations for me personally. That is my number 5 of the month, The Gang. Number 4 is a game called Nature. This is a game that I believe was kickstarted, and it's going to be available real soon. And I got to play with Dominic, the owner of North Star Games. I got to hang out with him recently in LA. He was in town for I think family stuff, and he graciously reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'd love to show you Nature," and it was terrific. If you liked his previous game Evolution, this is the evolution of evolution. He's done several iterations, right? Oceans and so forth. But he said, and I agree with this, he said Nature is probably the vision of what he had in his mind when he made Evolution. It is like the most streamlined version of it. And I really enjoyed this. Now, I liked Evolution, but eventually moved on from it. But I think Nature does some really neat things where it makes it definitely more approachable. And this is Monique from before we played doing the Kickstarter tutorial from, I believe, last year. But same type of premise where you're trying to evolve your species, and you're going to have to feed them, whether at the watering hole or on other animals, right? They could be predators. But it just seemed like, again, I played it with Dominic the one time when we met up. It just seemed like everything flowed smoother, and it played more quickly. And that, I had mentioned that, and he did talk about this a little bit, where he wanted something that he could give to non-gamers to show how fun like a combo terrific game is, right? So Dominic, I don't know if you know, I didn't know this. He's a former professional Magic player. He's got a really interesting backstory. I'd love to interview him sometime because he's been a captain of an Alaskan fishing boat. He's been a professional Magic player and just crazy stuff. And now he owns his, not crazy stuff, but just it just seems so two vastly different worlds. And now he owns a board game publishing company, which I love. But nature, folks, if you like Evolution, or if you've never played Evolution, I think this is a great entry point into it, because what he's done is taking the core element, given it its own game where you can really get into it, but then he has different modules they can add to it that will ramp up the complexity. So you have this basic system of nature, then you can add on it for as complex or as streamlined or as simple as you want. That is nature. I was very impressed by it. Number 4 for the month of May 2025. Okay, number 3. We got our top 3 now, and I've got a brain burner, folks. You thought Ark Nova was a brain burner? I'm going number 3. It's a game I greatly enjoyed. 3-player game, Lisboa, of Vital Lacerda. I do not talk about Vital Lacerda enough on this channel, mainly because I don't play too many of his games, because my tastes have changed over the years. I tend to go a little lighter, actually a lot lighter than Lisboa, but when I do play these games, oh my gosh, it reminds me of, I love these type of games. This is Vital Lacerda, I would probably say a masterpiece. Just for me, the blending of mechanism and theme is just perfect. This is based on Lisboa in Portugal, where it had been destroyed by 3 different things. It took a beating back in the 1700s, I believe. I should have paid more attention to the history lesson in this game. We're watching Rahdo's run through, by the way. Lisboa's destroyed by earthquakes, by fire and flooding, right? And what you're doing is you're trying to rebuild the city, and you're doing this through worker placement, set collection. You've got action selection, and it is just a big, deep, heavy game. And Rahdo's video is 25 minutes, and I think it's the best way to really learn this, at least just because the way he taught it is brilliant. He tied it into the mechanisms and the theme, right? Tied into the theme and mechanism. So he's talking about, hey, you're trying to bribe an official. Here's where you go. Oh, now you need to build something from the rubble. Here's where you go. But wait, now you need to do this, that, or this in your portfolio, which is your player board. You either tuck in a card on the top or tuck in the bottom. This represents your ship. This may represent an individual in the court, etc., etc. My 2 minutes here or so explain this will never do Lisboa justice. I just talked about just the main overarching theme. It's funny because on your turn, you do exactly one thing, folks. You play a card. That's it. But it's a multi-use card to the max. You either play it into your tableau, or, your player board, your portfolio. Again, you can play it in 2 different spots there. Or you play it to the board, the royal court, and you play it there, and then you're going to be able to do stuff. So each time you play a card, it's going to trigger multiple actions. And, oh man, I played a 3-player game of this with Benita and Jake Michaels. And our brains were hurting in a good way. It's a lot to take in. While it's still fresh in my mind, I really want to learn the solo game, because this to me is like a wonderful way to play this type of game. These big chunky ones where you play solo, and to me, I'd rather do that. So when my brain does start to hurt, I can take a break, right? And this thing is a table hog. It is a beast. The thing was huge. We played at a public, like a bar, right? And we literally took up an entire table. We could have taken up 2 tables, to be honest with you. But last year, with Jake and Benita, a fun fact, we played Vinos with Casey from Brain in a Jar. She was like the perfect teacher. We played Lisboa. We did not have Casey here, so it wasn't quite as smooth, but thankfully we had Jake, who teaches games like a champ. And then Benita and I had done our homework beforehand. I had watched Rahdo's video. I watched Monique and Naveen's video. You got to do your homework to play these type of games, but the experience worth it. Number 3, Lisboa, folks. An epic game. And a wonderful game. I just, my mind still melts over this one. But check it out if you can. Let's move on. I got 2 more games to talk about. Number 2 is one that is right behind me, folks. This is Finspan. This is the latest in the Wingspan implementations. I did a solo playthrough of it. Shout out to Stonemaier Games for sending me over a copy. I love this. I think Finspan takes a lot of what I loved about Wingspan, right? A lot of people love the engine building, the different cards, this huge deck of cards that, you know, you're trying to figure out where to play them. But it streamlines stuff down where, in this case, you're going top to bottom, like you're literally diving the ocean. But I think what's neat is it doesn't feel as, what was the word? For Wingspan, it just, like, I just think of the video of Mandy Patinkin, the actor, and I think it was his son-in-law, was trying to teach him and the family how to play Wingspan. And again, for gamers, Wingspan was, hey, this is a terrific, you know, probably a Gateway Plus game. No, you have to remember, non-gamers, it's a big step up to get into Wingspan. And I feel like Finspan is the better entry point for this type of engine building game, because things are they just seem to make a little more sense in my mind. There are not as many resources to worry about, and there's no like feeding, right? As far as like trying to get the perfect amount of food for, like in Wingspan, the birds. Here, you're still feeding, but it's just easier. There's not quite as many, and it's just easier to get your fish fed, right? Whether it's on other fish or items in the ocean or certain conditions you have to meet. Now, like Wingspan, there are 3 different parts of the board where you're going to play your cards, or your fish in this case. But again, you're going top to bottom. You can place them anywhere, and then you can take the action of diving, and that's when you trigger all those benefits that you've placed on your board. And everything just flows better in Finspan. It literally flows, right? Like the ocean. I played the solo version on my channel. You can check that out. I really enjoyed it, and it is absolutely terrific. My number 2 game of the month, Finspan. Okay, got one more game to talk about. Again, I want to thank you all for joining me today here on YouTube. And I do record this live on YouTube and Twitch. My number 1 game starts with an F. It almost looks like Finspan. Now I look at it a little closer. It is Finca. I had never played Finca before. Pandasaurus sent me over a copy. This is a new version of a game that's been around, I think, since 2009. So like a 15, 16-year-old game. It is a light Euro game of resource management and completing orders. And it's got this wonderful Mancala. You see there that little windmill on the right side there? It's a Mancala. You're placing your farmers there, and you're going to move them. So if you have 1 farmer on 1 space, you will move it 1 space. If there are 2 or 3 farmers, you'll take yours and move 2 or 3 spaces, whatever the number of farmers are. And then when you land on a spot, that's how many resources you get. So if I move my farmer 1 space and I landed on a spot, say, of lemons, and there are 3 other farmers there, with my farmer, now I've got to collect 4 lemons. It's great. And then as you go around the board, collect resources. Whenever you pass the dotted line, it's like the middle point of the windmill, you will get a donkey cart. Those donkey carts are used to transport goods to the island. I forget the name of it. But anyways, each region of the island has different orders that their customers or people want. So, like, say they want a fig. I have a fig in my supply of resources. I have a donkey cart. So now I can spend my donkey cart to deliver that fig. And then I get that top tile that has the fig. It'll score points at the end of the game. What's great is you keep doing this, and not only are you fulfilling the orders, the contracts, but once you've fulfilled the last one, there's another like special bonus tile that's on each region that you're going to immediately score. And each one's different. So one may be, for instance, whoever has sold the most lemons, or whoever's sold the most combination of the most figs and the most grapes, or whatever. Then you're going to look, everyone's going to look and see who has the most. That person will take that bonus tile. Then you place a Finca, one of those little houses, on that spot. And once you place all of them, in this case, a 2-player game, 4 of those Fincas, the game is over. It is fantastic. I loved how smooth this game plays. It really feels like a classic Euro game. Light but thinky, not overly crunchy. It just feels good. You know, when you play a game that just, I don't know what it is. Just everything about it, it just seems well done. It was easy to learn, but it wasn't like, I mean, it was easy to play, but just the different elements made it such a gratifying experience. And I would recommend it for anyone who's a Euro fan, or even if you're not the biggest Euro game fan. This one, it plays so quickly, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, if that. And yeah, it's resource management, it's delivering contracts and fulfilling. But folks, that is it for my best board games of the month, May 2025. So let's talk about the games that you played in the month of May. Hopefully you liked some of the games that I played. But even if you did, that's fine, because we're going to talk about the games that you played. And you can join our Discord community in order to participate. The first one I want to talk about is from AB Trube, a longtime supporter of the channel. AB Trube wanted to talk about, he went to Kubla Khan, played all kinds of great games, and the one he's highlighting, or I'm going to highlight for him, is Skara Bra or Skara Bray. This is from Garfield Games. It is the video we're watching is from the Brothers Murph, my brothers from another mother. The aim of Scarborough, Scarbray, according to BGG, is to gather various resources in order to feed, clothe, and shelter the growing number of settlers. This is a drafting game. As you can see, they're building some tableaus there. And players take turn drafting cards using their workers to furnish, cook, craft, clean, and trade. So once again, the brilliant team over there at Garfield has taken the worker placement mechanism and done new things with it. I love when Garfield Games does this. Some of my favorite worker placement games from them include Architects of the West Kingdom, and then Raiders of the North Sea, and each of those are like trilogies, the North Sea and then the West Kingdom. There's a few new ones as well. Definitely got to check this out. I have not played it yet, but you had me at hello with Garfield Games, because I love what they do with worker placement mechanism. And Colt Cardboard says, this is my number 2 game I want to buy after Kalamala. Oh, Kalamala is so good. But yeah, this one I want to get to the table as well. Folks, by the way, you're watching this on YouTube. We are recording this live on Twitch and YouTube. And folks watching get to hang out and comment as well. So join us next time by hitting that like and subscribe button, and finding us on Discord, where you can hang out and join the conversation. Okay, thank you for that, AB Trube. Let's move on to a Variant Hex. They played a bunch of stuff as well, and they are going to highlight for them Conservis. So this is Maggie and Amy and Maggie's video from Thinker Themer, and it says here, Conservis has Amy playing solo. So Amy doesn't really play solo games, but she made an exception for this, and I know why, folks. Conservis is a Scott Alms game. One of my favorite designers of all time, Scott Alms, and he does wonderful, wonderful solo games, including some of my favorites, including Tiny Epic Galaxies. Oh gosh, it just went out the top of my head here. Warp's Edge and others, folks. So many. I mean, he's put out so many titles. He's like, I would say like the Ryder Knizia of solo games for me. Personally, I love his solo designs. This one, I just got a copy of it, so I want to play this. I don't know what the mechanisms are. It looks, it's a bag builder. Deck/bag building, pool building. Let's see what Amy and Maggie are doing here. Amy's talking about the different cards here that you're trying to fish, but what's cool about it is you're not trying to overfish, right? So it's got that really neat theme of being, mindful of the subject matter. Like, yes, fishing is a crucial thing. It's a vital part of the world, but overfishing you don't want to do. So in Conservis, you're trying to balance those. So each season you go out, again, according to BGG, you go out with a single boat, a little money. C is represented by a bag of chits full of fish and water tiles. Each round you will fish from this bag, taking back some to your facility for tinning, while others are left at sea to breed. See, very important, folks. So Conservis, I love the theme. I love the designer, and we all love Amy and Maggie. So I'm going to watch their video, learn how to play Conservice. So thanks for sharing that. That was from Variant Hex. Moving on to our next one is my buddy Oscar. The Oscar, he had a wonderful month of gaming, according to his Discord comment. A lot of games played during Mother's Day weekend. He also did a half marathon. Shout out to Oscar for that. His surprise hit with the folks he hung out with at the half marathon was Landmarks. I loved Landmarks. This was it last year or the year before? When did I do this video? This live stream was 9 months ago. So Michelle and I played with Daryl during Tabletop Live Network last year. This was my, I knew this was going to be a huge hit for Floodgate Games because it takes code names, right? Single word type thing, guessing game, party style game, word game. And it adds this little element of trying to find your way out from the map, almost like Decrypted, where you're trying to, or Cryptid, not Decrypto, Cryptid, where you're trying to find out exactly where this tile is going to go and using clues from your fellow players. It's a cooperative game. And here's what's funny. Daryl never plays cooperative games. He played this one. We had a great time with this. A fantastic gameplay, super easy to figure out or learn how to play. It's literally, Daryl just placed a word there. Now it's up to me and Michelle. Where does this go? You place it touching the other word or words, depending on how far, how much you feel like it describes it. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. So, on your turn, whoever's the active player, secretly chooses a word, and not the active player, the person who is trying to guide you through the map. So they know where the exit is. They know where the treasures are. They also know where the bad things are, like the monsters or the traps. And through your deduction skills as a team, you're trying to wind your way out the map. There are a limited number of tiles, so you have to do it before you run out of tiles. And if you do something good, you may get a blank tile. If you do something bad, you may lose a tile. So, when did we play this last? It was after this. I think it was might have been like Dice Tower West or something. But always had a great time with this. It's a terrific party game, folks. If you have not played it, get to it. It is absolutely wonderful. That's Landmarks. So glad to hear you liked it. Excuse me. Glad to hear that you liked it, Oscar. Let's move on to Mo. Mo played Andromeda's Edge, Black Orchestra, Dark Heist, Flip 7. Also played Bomb Busters, which I've been hearing a lot of good things about. I do not know this game. I have not played it. This is One Stop Co-op Shop run through preview of it. Just the different parts of it, clues and cues. Bomb Busters, you're trying to, there's a set of 48 normal wire cards, according to BGG, numbered 1 to 12, 4 of each value, with yellow and red wires. These are dealt out. Each mission is different, but your goal is always the same. Go through all 12 numbers without blowing up. So you're going to place your tiles on the stands and then take turns pointing at each other's tiles and guessing their values. Oh, interesting. If the guess is correct, the wires are cut. If not, the detonator advances. If you manage to cut all wires without blowing up, you've completed the mission. Try again. So there's 66 missions. Oh my gosh. There's a lot. So 66 different ways to play depending on your moods, in order by level of difficulty, favorite configuration, etc. Plenty of tricky bombs. So yeah, it's a cooperative game. Try not to blow up. I just immediately thought of, what was that game? Now, this is totally different, but just the theme. Try not to blow up. Keep talking or this room explodes or this bomb explodes. We played a ton of that during the pandemic. But I need to watch this video here, Mike's video. He always does a fantastic job of explaining games. And, it's got cute critters. I'm in. Yeah, I've heard, people have been talking about this. They've been saying it's really a wonderful co-op game. With a fun little theme. So definitely want to check that out. And thanks to Mo for pointing it out. Thank you, Mo. Let's continue here. Let me find the next game. This is from DC, another regular. Mo is as well in the Discord community. Had a very eventful May for DC. Cosmic Encounters for the first time, I think. Or said it was okay. Fellowship of the Ring Trick Taker. I love that. Far Away, I loved. Endeavor Deep Sea. I'm getting my copy soon. I want to play. But DC pointed out Wong. I've not played Wong, and this is a Reiner Knizia game. It's the newest implementation. So he does this a lot, right? Reiner Knizia will take like a game and then re-implement it, either add or subtract mechanisms. So start with Tigris and Euphrates, which is considered a classic of his, which became Yellow and Yangtze, which is the next iteration. And this one, Wong, is the very next iteration. It's 2 to 4 players. This is a longer game of Knizia's, 90 minutes. So the one and only Doctor, published over 800 games. This is one of the heavier ones apparently, but I know that it is a game that, this is why I love the Good Doctor's designs. They're always low rules overhead, but plenty of tons of strategy. So this is a 2-player game according to BGG, set in ancient China, and you take control of one of the warring states battling to unite the country under your dynasty. So you have different leaders, then you're going to place these, right? Tile placement or hexagon placement. And depending on the corresponding tiles they have there, you're going to allow you to build pagodas to score points, trigger or avoid wars, and instigate peasant revolts that bring down your enemies. Interesting. So, to me, it's got the makings of a classic Knizia, right? Where simple turns, but the deep strategy as you build the board. I'm wonderful. I'm looking forward to that. Colt Harbord says Wong is great as long as it's 4 players. 5 players gets too hectic. Yeah, that's totally fair. So the Wong, let me see. It does say 2 to 4 players, and I believe it's Yellow and Yangtze that was up to 5. No, that was also 4. Maybe there's I don't know. Maybe you can play at 5, or is it Tigris and Euphrates? Nope, that was 2 to 4 as well. I played. It's funny. I've never played Tigris and Euphrates. But I played Yellow and Yangtze online. Actually, I think with John Gonzalez, a.k.a. Book of Nerds. William Wilson, hey, howdy from Vegas. Good to see you, William Wolf. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're been well, friend. Wow, all the way from Vegas. Folks, we are recording this live on Twitch and YouTube. We're talking about the games that you played last month. I just did mine as well. And that was from DC. Thanks for sharing, DC. Very, very nice to see. Always happy to talk about a Reiner Knizia game, as you know. All right, let's move on to the next game. I want to talk about To Live in Nice in LA. Played Party Panda Pirates, said it right. Sliding Bears, what was it, 5, excuse me, Flip 7, Things and Rings, Corridor, Pac-Man, which, I'm dying to play that one. But I wanted to highlight Dungeon Cart. I know we got lots of video game heads in chat and also I watch this channel. Dungeon Cart, folks, this is Mario Kart, the board game, basically. But it's set in the world that Brother Wives Games has done, with their different games. Overboss and, oh my gosh, what's the first one called? Not Dungeon Cart. The one that you dive in the dungeon. Oh my god, it's their flagship game. I'm embarrassed. I am not remembering it. What is it called, folks? The card game it's a 8-bit card game and you build a tableau. I'm so embarrassed. I don't remember. This is their flagship game. Now I'm going to have to look it up. Brotherwise Games. They make games. Thank you. Boss Monster. Jeebus. Boss Monster. This is based on the Boss Monster world. As you can see there, they have the Boss Monster characters, but they're in cars and they're racing and there's ways to mess them up. Just like in Mario Kart, you don't drop bananas, but you drop other things that will impede them. There's some oil slick. You have your little player board, which is cool. It's got, the different gears that you can move up and down on. It's fast. It's furious. Of course, I was going to say Fast and Furious because it's a car game, but it's a terrific game. I played this. It was a big group of us. I played on Brothers Murph years ago. The prototype, had a great time. Played it at 2 and 3. Both games are terrific. They just changed up a couple of little things there. But if you want that experience of Mario Kart, but in the Boss Monster world, be sure to check out Dungeon Cart. Okay, a couple more here, and then we'll get going. Austin, friend of the channel, played his standouts for him were Decrypto and Fathomable, and a game that I want to highlight because I don't talk about it enough on this game, Cockroach Poker. Another simple family weight game. It's just bluffing, pure bluffing. Like, do you think I have this? I'm going to place a card in front of you and say what type it is. For instance, a rat or whatever. And you're going to say, yes, you believe me, or you're going to say I don't believe you, and then you can it's going to move from, as you can see here from Shut Up Sit Down's video, it's either going to stay with you or you're going to move along to the next player. Finally, someone's going to call the bluff, and you're going to reveal yay or nay. Was it the card that you thought? Yes. Was it not the card you thought? No. And then whoever gets, I think it's 4, just loses the game. Everyone else wins. So yes, there is a element of ganging up on someone, but the games are so quick and they're so fun. Like, it never, to me at least, it doesn't seem mean. If you're gonna cry about, or if you're gonna feel bad about getting picked on, then of course game isn't for you. But it's such a quick game. Like, it's just part of the game mechanism, right? Someone's gonna get stuck getting the 4 matching animals or whatever is to trigger the end. Terrific game. I actually played a couple of years ago. Michelle and I played on a custom deck. It was really neat. Jake Michaels invited us over. So it was us, Jake, his wife Katie, and a couple other friends. We played a 6-player game of cockroach poker, but their deck was actually from another friend's wedding. And in that deck, it was like the wedding party, I believe. So you have these people, and they have their names printed up, but it's like, oh, this is so-and-so. Jake, this is your card. So you're going to, am I bluffing? Is this Jake or not? And so it's just a really added element of fun. And I actually want to take that idea. I want to make a custom deck for my family and then teach them how to play cockroach poker. So Game Crafter, I'm coming after you. I'm going to have you print up my custom deck. Okay, one final game that you all played that I want to highlight from DNix7. DNix played Tribes of the Wind, and the game that I'm going to highlight right now, it is Life in Reterra. This is Eric Lang's mass market game. They partnered with, I believe, who is it, Hasbro? I forget. Sorry if it's not Hasbro. But it is a accessible, approachable tile laying game of create a new civilization through Reterra. You've got the different terrains that you're building on, along with the little polyomino tiles, the shapes there that you place down that are your buildings. And you've got population, and I believe it's junk or trash that you're trying to manage. Pretty straightforward, but very light and approachable. Gives me King Domino vibes, but just a little added onto it, which I love. It is Hasbro. Thank you, Gamer Eyes Guy. It is just a little step above King Domino, which I really appreciated, and it's still very, very approachable for families. And I think it's terrific. Now you have what's neat is you have the standard cards there, each one of the different tiles that score, and then as you get adapted to the game or adept at the game, you could swap those out for cards that are a little trickier. So definitely check that out, folks. B. Travis, forgot that I picked this up. Going to have you get to the table soon. Yeah, I haven't played mine since this video that I did, which was, I believe, earlier this year. So I want to play it again. It's terrific. That is Life in Reterra. Folks, those are the games that you played, and also the games that I played in the month of May. This has been Tabletop Recall. Don't forget to hit those like, subscribe, and notification buttons right down there. And be sure to follow me on all the socials. Check out the Discord community as well, and you'll be able to find out when I stream. And until next time, we'll see you later here on Tabletop Recall. Bye, everybody.